evening, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Uncut History. And I totally planned that all out where I was just going to wait until the end of the minute and 20-second introduction before it faded out. And I pray to remember to actually edit that fading out and not just have an abrupt cut. That'd have been very awkward. How's everybody doing tonight? I know it's not our normal night. We're on Friday. It's the weekend. The weekend approaches. Everybody celebrate, except those that have to work on the weekends as well. So, yeah, it's been a wild day. I'm very thankful to be back in the normal routine in the year of 2025, back to the normal work routine. I mean, the holidays are great. Don't be wrong. It's great to get off a few days and enjoy all of them treats and open them presents and, you know, travel in all main directions, traffic jams, possible fender benders, many people that you're reportedly told are your family, but you have no idea who they are, so you have to awkwardly smile and pray for an escape route to be developing soon. Actually, be honest, no, I never have really traveled for the holidays before. I remember being little, we would go like down the road a few miles to go to family houses, but we stopped even doing that once I was in my adolescence. And it's not because we were angry at anybody. It's just like, okay, we did all of the family get together stuff when I was young. Okay, yeah. We kind of just want to hang out at home and Christmas at Readout Productions kind of goes like this. We're up at 9 o'clock, we open the presents, and Christmas is over by 10:30, unless you count the dinner around 4 o'clock. And the rest of the day is just spent sitting around cleaning up all the wrapping paper, putting stuff back where it needs to be. And if we're really bored, like this year, you just start tearing down all the decorations. we're really basic people like that. Skunk's Workshop has joined us in. He is exhausted, very hungry. I did remedy the hunger part before I went on stream. That would have been very bad. I was very thirsty, but I'm like, food. I need food now. So now we got the this is true. This is what you need. This is true moistification right here. It's good drink for the soul. Good drink for the soul. Yeah, I think some of you guys saw it. Some of the private discords I'm in. I was sharing the link for tonight. I'm like, yeah, come on, join us. I have Yingling. No, I don't have too much Yingling left. We do have if we get desperate, I do have an emergency ration, a banquet. For the record, Readout Productions do not condone the use of alcohol, tobacco, and other drug substances, especially when they're on stream. He's going to do it anyways. Don't be Readout. There. We good, YouTube. I gave out my PSA. So, what are we going to talk about tonight? Honestly, I had a couple ideas, and I thought I was going to have time to put ideas to paper, so I had a bit of a semblance of what tonight's stream's going to be. And then, yeah, I only got home about 45 minutes ago, ate, got changed, and now we're here. I didn't even have time to get a hat. We don't have a hat on tonight's stream, and it's like we're seeing me without a hat is rare. It's a little scary. I guess I could steal the Western Maryland hat that's on top of the William Tecumseh Sherman book. I could steal. Well, I don't know if you can see that on the camera. There's behind Pomney and behind the coal miner's helmet. There's actually a little. Yeah, you never do it on stream. No, we don't drink or smoke on stream. No, totally not. Now somebody needs to clip that image. That's a meme waiting to happen, isn't it, Skunks? Anyways, there's a baby size engineer cap behind the coal miner's helmet. That is a little engineer's hat my father bought me when I was like 3 years old. When I got to ride my first train, the Middletown and Hummelstown Railroad. It's just south of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, just south of our state capital. So I got to wear that. I guess I wore it. I don't know if there's photographs of baby Readout wearing that hat, but that's an artifact from one of the pillars of building who Readout is today, right in the Middletown and Hummelstown Railroad, which is something I'm hoping to do in the future. I'd love to do a retracing history on the Middletown and Hummelstown. And actually, that'll get into one of my ideas when we're going to talk about tonight. But yeah, no hat tonight. Yeah, no hat. I know, it's weird. Very weird. So 2025 is here. What does that mean for Readout Productions? Well, means we're not done yet. No, no, we're gonna keep going. I'm not. This is not an announcement that we're ending the channel. No, that's not that. It's not bad news. I do want to state a bit about what we're doing with Uncut History with the live streams. So we've been doing these since the end of 2022. I think the first one was November 2022. I've enjoyed doing the live streams. The problem is I never really had an idea what Uncut History was gonna be more than just, "Okay, I wanna talk about something, hit the play button, talk, stop hitting the play button." It's only in, like, the past year I've really started to develop an idea on what I wanna do with live streams, which are live history lessons, let's be honest, that's what they become. The biggest viewed Uncut I got too many series names in my head. For Uncut History, especially the past year, we did a lot of real-time talks about battles and other historical events, mostly military history events. And even if we weren't able to do it on the day itself, I was trying to hit it the first day closest to talk about it. When I'm talking about these real-time streams, I'm talking about when we did the Overland campaign back in spring, when we talked about, the wilderness, Spotsylvania Courthouse, we talked about North Anna and the Battle of Cold Harbor. We were doing that in May of 2024 because that was the 160th anniversary of the Overland campaign. We recently did two about the Nashville campaign of 1864. Yeah, that didn't go too well for the Confederates, did it? It did not. It was fun. It was fun revisiting those events. Wasn't the first time I've covered them on the channel, but I think I've actually gotten more views from those two streams than I did the original General Hood's Tennessee Christmas of '64. Those were in the dark times when I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I didn't say I know what I'm doing now. So I think going forward with Uncut History, I want to be more concise. I want to focus on keeping the live streams to being history lessons, like large scale ones, because those tend to bring in the most viewers. They're the ones I have the most fun with because I have a lot to talk about. I have a lot to ramble about. That being said, they require a lot of homework to get those streams put together, and you guys probably are aware if you're members of the Garrison, select streams do get notes posted to our Garrison members. So they have access to see all the research that I actually put into those larger streams. I want to be, I want to make, I wasn't, I'm not happy with myself in terms of I didn't get release enough of those notes to the Garrison or release enough, hopefully to warrant the membership, but I want to make sure every stream you would get notes to. But just last year's schedule, I was doing the streams every week. I really didn't have the ability to get all the research in a nice, concise manner and then give it to the Garrison. And I also want to be able to do that with every stream to have research back in it. Like, obviously, I do research for everything I do here, but my research tends to, this is a perfect example. You see, in my hands here, there are probably a half a dozen research projects in my hand right now, only being held together by flimsy paper clips. And what normally happens is once I write this down and speak it out on a video, I get too intimidated about trying to put this together into a Word document. And yeah, just like now, it just got chucked into one of my cubby holes, most likely for this just in. There are no cats trying to attack me from behind. This is a rarity on Readout Productions. Sometimes my cats will get in the cubby holes and tear all the research up, which is also why sometimes the Garrison is not good. This is a perfect example. Look at this. Yeah, it's a perfect example. That's what my cats do to my research. This is why, to the members of the Garrison, why sometimes you don't get the notes of the streams. So I want to make Uncut History more exclusively about doing real-time history lessons. I want to make sure the research process for the live streams are more thorough. For that reason, we're probably not going to be doing weekly live streams anymore. I'm just going to say that right now. I don't know how many we'll do a month. I mean, if we have a bunch of topics to do in real time, like we have the battles of Lexington Concord coming up in April, the 250th anniversary of them. I'm going to do something about them. With each passing day, it looks like less of traveling to the site and more it's going to be an uncut history about it. And I want to give them their proper respect. So I want to go into their history books, get the research. So when I have time to talk to you, I'm not completely making this up. Well, I'm not making it up. but sometimes it feels like it. It's like, no, guys, I'm telling you, this is the truth, but it sounds like complete nonsense. And I'm sure somebody at the time was going, this was crazy. So yeah, Uncut History, we're not going to probably be doing them weekly anymore unless the real-time event dictates it. So that allows me to put more effort into the research phase so I can give you a better stream, a better presentation that you guys can tune in live to and interact with. I also want to extend that Uncut History. I want to get guests back on the show. I think the last guest we had was Project Past. I think that was on episode 50, and here we are in episode 84. Almost a year since we've done that stream with Project Past. So I would like to get more guests on the air to introduce my audience, inform them about other creators, other historians. This just in. I have invented a new word. Histrians. We are histrians. We're not historians. We're histrians. So I want to get more guests on the show. So I think Uncut History going forward is going to be a mixture of our real-time history lectures, commemorating anniversaries of historic events, and getting guests on. I don't think that they're probably not going to be weekly anymore. It's probably going to be like every other week going forward. And we also got Outright History joining in. We need Humble Collector on stream. Yeah, it's when was the last time I know Valley Forge. I don't think we did a stream when we went to Virginia. So yeah, Valley Forge, the last time I guess I would have had him on the stream. I forget. I want to say we did. No, I don't think we did because we were too tired at night. We were in bed for the second night. I don't think we did a stream. Yeah, the last time I had Humble Collector on was March. Okay, that would have been the last guest then, technically. Yeah, we were on the road doing Valley Forge. So, and I will get him back on the stream. I promise. Like, I could call him up right now. I'm pretty tempted to do it. Be like, yo, get on the stream now. But I won't bother him this Friday night. I'll let him sleep. Good. Now you have time to head to Cold Springs, New York. I kind of expect that was going to be your response, Tim Allen. To look at some local history there that helps shape our nation. Look, if I'm going to go to Cold Springs, if I'm going to go to that area, but if I'm going to be around West Point, there's so much I want to do up there. It can't just be for one thing. That would be like a whole week trip for me. There's so much in that area up and down the Hudson River I would want to do so badly that I'm going to try to eke in. Another thing I want to say about the live streams, and this one isn't so much about the change in the format. It's all, well, yeah, I guess it is. I don't know. I want to say I've been informed by many people on YouTube, many people that do the social medias, not just histrians. That's what we are now. Not historians, histrians. What many histrians do. Oh, I'm going to get rained for that one. I can't pronounce crap. Do it. Do it now. Do it now. What was I going to say? Oh, I know what I was going to say. I've had many people that use social media inform me that websites like YouTube are not very kind to channels that provide multiple forms of media. What I mean is we provide here videos, live streams, and shorts through one channel. And the algorithm that sends videos out to the widest possible audience does not know what to do when your channel is doing multiple things at once. The algorithm likes if your channel is just a live stream channel or just a shorts channel or just a video channel. As such, it's kind of I'm worrying it may be stunting the growth of this channel. Now, I am fully appreciative of the 3,000 plus subscribers we've gotten, many of them in the past year alone. I am glad you have found us. I don't know how you navigated the algorithm to get here. It must have been like trying to find Northwest Passage. So congratulations. You did what the Franklin expedition could not do. Good job. You found Redoubt Productions. You found the Northwest Passage. But in order to try to get more of an outreach for this channel so we can do some more edumerication, we can edumericate as wide as many people as possible, I have decided to move the back catalog of all Uncut Histories over to another channel. You've probably noticed in the past few days, if you've been keeping an eye on the Uncut History playlist, videos have been disappearing. Well, they didn't disappear. They just went to another channel. And I'm going to drop the link. So for those that are tuning in tonight, I would encourage you guys to head on over and subscribe to Redoubt Productions Replay. That will be the back catalog for all live streams, including this stream. Once this stream is done, I'll probably give it the night, but probably tomorrow morning I'm listing it and then upload it over to the secondary channel. So before I'm hoping for the weekends out, all the live streams are going to be archived over there. If you're on Rumble, you should be able to just watch the live streams from the Rumble channel directly. Rumble, I've been kind of treating as like a informal archive. I mean, I am saving the actual videos. Okay, it's not the best way of saving them, but you do what you can do on the budget of a very jaded college student. So yeah, if you're watching the stream tonight, I would greatly appreciate if you subscribe to Readout Productions Replay. That is the back catalog and all live streams. For the time being, I'm still planning to go live. The initial stream will be on this channel, but once the stream is over, it's going to be bumped over to Readout Productions Replay. Everybody understand? We all in the same Gecko? Gecko? Why did I say Gecko? Gecko is a gas station, which was an affiliate of Giant Eagle, which if you don't know what Giant Eagle is, that's basically Pittsburgh's version of Kroger. But then a Canadian company bought Gecko out last year. I'm going to drink more Genius Juice. Genius Juice. It's been a while since I've had Yingling. If you're not from Pennsylvania, well, if you've never had Yingling, you'll just never understand the power of the Yingling. Heidelberg Mead Works. Put that on the docket. Heidelberg Mead Works. Where are they at? I'm actually just, you know what? Why not? Why not? I'm going to do something here. You gave me an idea. Tim. No, it's not that idea. No, we're not going to raid them today. We'll do that next week, Tim. How do I share? Share screen. Oh, another thing that you won't really notice, but behind the scenes I'm going to be changing. A couple months ago, apparently StreamYard's upped its prices, like doubled them. And yeah, no, I'm not willing to pay the current prices. So this will probably be one of the last times I actually am using StreamYard to stream. I say that, and then I'll probably forget about it and keep having to pay that arm and a leg to keep the subscription. Oh, let's just go over here. And what do you have to share for us? Oh, so here we are on Readout Productions. We're talking about mead now. Yes, you gave me the idea, Tim. Here we are. Our amazing Black Braid collaboration is now available at both mead halls and online for shoppers. I'd like to enter the site, please. Award-winning mead and hard cider. I'm going to be honest, I only have drinking mead once, and it was at this past Thanksgiving party. I can't for the life of me remember what mead we had. It was good, whatever we were having. We were like sampling different things that a humble collector had in his alcohol cabinet, and the mead came out. And we're like, okay, we'll try mead. Come visit us in one of our mead halls in Troy or Esperance, yes. About us. Let's read about them. They're the owners. There they are. They're Peter and Kirsten. Then he had the Mead Works team. Oh, I can see where the time period this was photographed in. Oh, no. The mead itself? I would like to see the mead, please. Give us the mead. Oh, you have to download a PDF. Oh. Well, that's not fun. I would just like to see lovely photos of mead and cider, please. Yep, there they are. Tim Allen is highly recommending Heidelberg Mead Works, located in Troy and Esperance, New York. Yes, let's go with that. I'm assuming he would want us to go to this one because this is the one that's closer to the Hudson. And they go all the way up here. And we could go up here to Lake George. We can go to see Fort William Henry. I do generally want to go up to this region of New York. There's so much I want to discuss up there. All the French and Indian War history along Lake George. Of course, Fort Ticonderoga's up there as well. Then down over here, go below Glen Falls. There's a lot of Revolution history down around here. Poughkeepsie. Yep. A lot of stuff up there. So, yeah. I don't know what that was all about, but I thought it was fun. Well, I wanted to shout out some good mead. Some of the best domestic mead. Oh, I'm supposed to hit the buy section. Oh, okay. All right. I can't do. Look, I gotta be honest with you guys. I just spent like the last hour of my workday got completely thrown away. One moment I'm changing light bulbs. The next moment, I'm single-handedly trying to back in a car trailer with a U-Haul van in the middle of a blizzard, and because it was an unannounced U-Haul drop-off. No fault of the customers, complete fault of U-Haul's database system. U-Haul.com is completely foobar, and it makes my life miserable. For the record, I do not actually work for U-Haul. That's not my main line of employment, but U-Haul is a component of my line of employment. And it's when it does not work, it's like when our actual systems for my main job, when that doesn't work, it's frustrating, but we live with it every day. So we know the quirks around it. U-Haul, there's nothing I can do. It's a third party. U-Haul. Should just do a whole stream about how much I don't like U-Haul.com. Again, most of the people I've dealt with, U-Haul, nice people. It's not them. It's the infrastructure they have to work around. I understand it's not their fault. Visit us, me.com. Okay. We're supposed to go back, and we're supposed to go to the buys section. This is what Tim Allen is telling us. And Tim Allen would never lie to me. Would you, Tim? Would you lie to me? I go to the buys section. There's nothing here, though. Wait, do I have to go here? Oh, I see what we're doing now. Okay. I see what we're doing, Tim. I see what you're doing. So you had to go to the link to the Vino shipper, and then you can actually buy them. Blood of the Wasted. Capsiculum. This is a custom pepper meat. Okay, I don't want pepper meat. That's going to be too spicy. Pillage Brick by Brick. This is a custom mead made exclusively for Brick by Brick oak aged mead. Okay, that's a little more speed. Loki's Lore. Methylglyn. Coffee and cocoa mead that is semi-dry but full of flavor. The coffee is balanced by a mild honey sweetness that highlights the subtle cocoa. Made using coffee and cocoa from Wired Coffee Roasters and Coa Vita. I'll actually have to keep that in mind. I don't know about the pepper meads. I just... Honey mead, of course. Heritage mead. Yeah, of course. That's like classic mead there. Maple mead. Ooh. Maple. That's reminding me. Where I live, within an hour south of us, there's several key like maple producers. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, one of their farms is available to visit year round. Like they have it set up where they do tours of the maple production there. Probably should consider that for retracing history. You're giving me ideas, Tim. Even though it's not directly related to mead, it's all trickling down. Apple mead, sweet farrow, staghorn mead. Oh, it's a lemon like refreshing balance with honey. Black currant mead. Of course, you got to drink it with the horn. Yes, of course. All right. And Wrangler has joined us in, and he's probably like, isn't this supposed to be a history stream? Not when Readout's tired. We just start rambling. It can go two ways. It can go really bad and we get dead air, or it can go really bad also, but at least it'll be entertaining for you guys. Well, it might not be for me. You want the maple? The maple's sounding really good. I probably shouldn't have this on screen much longer, because then we're going to start buying the stuff, and then you're going to see my credit card information, and then one of you guys are going to take it. I see you there. I see you there, Mike. I don't know who Mike is. I'm just naming somebody. Get the maple apple farrow and heritage meats. But that's like $100 worth of mead, Tim. I can only have so much. I can only have so much mead. I'm not saying it's not worth it. I think we're all agreeing on the maple. The maple sounding good. So I will have to genuinely consider again the maple. And yeah, he's like, yeah, and I got other things to invest in. Like I gotta get microphones. That reminds me, I'm gonna try in the future. I am looking to get a proper good microphones when we're out there. I know the audio quality can be subpar sometimes. I'm always running on the shoestring budget. That's never going to change here at Redoubt Productions, because I'm mainly doing this for the fun of it. Mainly. It's the only reason to do the fun of it. It's the only reason we do any of this stuff. We don't do it because it's rational or profitable. It's because it's fun. It's a weird kind of fun, but it's a fun for us. Seeing if we're missing anybody here. So yes, that is Helderberg Meadworks. Who would have thought they were going to shout out here on Uncut History? I mean, for me, that'll last me a very good time because, like, mead for me, I can't. Oh yes, it's very tempting to just drink the whole bottle. Not a smart idea in the long run. So like that would be a mead for me is like you have like a nice little glass of it to finish the day off. And I can do that for maybe a couple meals and stuff, but it would last me for a while. Now Tim, I don't know about Tim. Like I don't know. How long would I last you, Tim? I see you lurking, Maji. I see you lurking. I would move my cursor, but it froze. Oh, there we are. Yep, there she is. She's lurking. Maji Blue. Oh, that's a story. Oh, we're starting this now. Are we starting the mead fun? Is this going to be a thing now? I don't. Is David Gilmour appropriate for the mead fund? I don't know about that. All right, so let's pop that off the screen. So, to recap, Uncut History probably will not be weekly anymore, but you've noticed that for the past few months that it has been weekly anyways. It's going to be specialized to doing history lectures and having historian guests on. Or, well, guests who I want to bring on that are fun to talk to. Doesn't have to be a direct historian. That'll give me more time to do more thorough research when we do the streams, and then you'll have more notes for the members of the Garrison. Again, I encourage you to join the Garrison if you want to keep us preserving these historical events, historical moments, historical people. Well, we don't preserve the people. That's called embalming a human body. We don't do that here on Readout Productions. I just knocked over not poker chips. They're so I actually have to tilt up the blue microphone just so it would record a bit better. I use these free ice cream scoop coins. I've had these for years. I guess I got dozens of them laying around the house. I picked up over the years from a local ice cream parlor. I should really use them. The parlor is still in business, and it's a really good ice cream parlor. But every time I go, I don't have a free chip. I just end up buying it. It's worth it. Oh, the mead fund is becoming a thing now. The mead fund is becoming a thing. It's very not how I was expecting tonight to go, but I will take it. I appreciate the mead fund. That is, oh wow, the mead fund's a thing. And I think that's my neighbor. You can't hear us on the stream. I think that's my neighbor out there with his snowmobile. Yep, plowing his driveway out. Gosh, I really wish I had that at work today. We just used the big scoop and the human energy to push it. That's how you do it sometimes. That's how you do it here in the Laurel Highlands of Pennsylvania. And I'm out of Yingling. But don't worry, we have banquet. But before we crack open the banquet, I should do something else first. We should actually talk about other things, like what the streams tend to be. What are we going to be doing in 2025? So I already talked about what's happening with the streams. And again, if you want to watch our older streams, they will no longer be available on the main channel. You can head over to Readout Productions Replay. Highly encourage you to subscribe to that. So what are we going to talk about here? I mean, there's more retracing history coming. I got a big list. I keep adding to the list of ideas. We're in the planning phase of what we'll do in 2025. I'm probably only going to get to less than a fifth of those ideas. I mean, when reality sets in with, budget and time and mileage and, and there's only 24 hours in a day, we can only do so much. It's not working for you earlier. Let me see why it's not. Maybe I'm missing a wonder if I'm missing a letter. I mean, that'd be very weird if the whole thing just got taken down. Why would YouTube take that down? I don't know. Here we go. We're going over here. Yeah, it's not appearing. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna get you guys the unbroken link. I promise you, Readout Productions Replay is a real channel. I made it over a year ago. Da-da-da-da-da. Like, what? Why can't I get? Try this one, guys. This one doesn't look right at all, but try this one. Tax write-off, business expense. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could. We could make this a tax write-off. That I don't know how I'm gonna explain that to the IRS, but eh, they don't need to know about. They don't worry about. Don't worry about. So one of the big ideas I've had, and actually a lot of people have been requesting it lately, the Battle of Lake Erie. I've had a lot of requests. Probably most well known Swords and Starships podcast hosted by Captain Garrett. He's been requesting for a while. I think he requested when he was our guest on Uncut History to do the Battle of Lake Erie, and I want to do it badly. The problem is one does not simply do the Battle of Lake Erie, because you see, there is Erie, Pennsylvania, where the brig Niagara, the reconstruction of the brig that the U.S. Navy used in the battle, is moored today in Erie, Pennsylvania. And Erie, Pennsylvania is where the American ships in that battle were built. But then you got to go 700 miles across Lake Erie, which isn't too bad if you're going across the lake, but I don't have that ability. So I'm going to have to travel through Ohio. And that's going to take me all the way over essentially to the Toledo area. That's a lot of mileage to cover just to talk about one battle. So it will have to be a whole blitz, a whole trip. And if I'm going to do that, I want to hit a bunch of other things along the way. So I'm very much looking for. I want to do the Battle of Lake Erie. I think it's going to happen this year. It may have to happen in parts, however. So I don't know how that'll look, but I do have the Battle of Lake Erie on the docket to cover on Retracing History, because we can do it. It just, I don't know if I can do it all in one trip. It may be we go up to the Erie area, get a bunch of videos shot, including one about the Battle of Lake Erie, and then we go up to the actual Oliver Perry Peace Monument that is in Put-in Bay, Ohio. Go out and see that, which is as close as I can get to the actual battle, because funny story, so the battle occurred in the lake. It's called the Battle of Lake Erie for a reason. And I I mean, I can swim, but I don't think the United States Coast Guard's could appreciate very much Readout going in his floaties, swimming out there into Lake Erie. And also, I don't want to get hit by the waves, so I don't think we're gonna actually go to the battlefield. But we'll go see where it occurred. We'll look in the distance, and I'll point out there. That's where the battle occurred. But in all seriousness, there is a lot of stops that are involved in talking about the Battle of Lake Erie. Going up to Erie to actually talk about how the American ships were built, then heading over to the Oliver Perry Peace Monument, which is the closest the closest way on land I can get to where the battle occurred. And it's a beautiful monument in itself. And the National Park Service does a lot of public programs there to explain the battle. And there's a bunch of other stuff like along that route I would like to do. And if I'm out in the Toledo area, I would like to go see Fort Meigs, which is this massive War of 1812 fortification. It's huge, and they've reconstructed out there. So, there was actually 2 battles that were fought there during the War of 1812. So I'd like to go see that. Fallen Timbers battlefields out there as well, which was the end of the Northwest wars. So there's all sorts of stuff I want to do. The Battle of Lake Erie will just kind of be the catalyst to hit these other sites. Another thing I'm thinking about doing, I'd like to go see Fort McHenry. I've thought about that. I don't know why Fort McHenry's been on my mind the last few weeks. And then again, speaking of the Swords and Starships podcast, we went on a whole tangent. Everybody in the chat started talking about the Star Spangled Banner, and maybe thinking about, yeah, I'd like to go see Fort McHenry. From the photos I've seen, it's an impressive fort. And then I started doing some digging into history. There's much more to it than the War of 1812. Did you know that Francis Scott Key's grandson was held as a prisoner of war at Fort McHenry by the United States Army during the Civil War? I think it was a grandson, or was it just his son? Anyways, a relative of Francis Scott Key was held at Fort McHenry by the Union Army during the Civil War. A lot of Baltimore's elite that were pro-Confederate or suspected suspected of having Confederate ties in 1861 were thrown into Fort McHenry and held under arms. And I did not realize Fort McHenry really was the epicenter of the habeas corpus crisis when the Lincoln administration suspended habeas corpus at the start of the American Civil War. So there's all that gets me interested. I'm like, now I really want to go to Fort McHenry, not just to talk about the battle itself, but all the Civil War history. And also, many people do not realize that the Battle of Fort McHenry is just one's part of a larger campaign. There is a land battle that occurs, I think it's like to the east of Baltimore, the Battle of North Point, which isn't a major battle. And actually, it's a British victory, but it had dire consequences because the British commander was killed in action there. Commander Ross was killed there. And when Ross was killed, well, it's kind of like you're flying. It's a headless chicken. The British Army was now. And this, of course, will lead into the bombardment on Fort McHenry and the British inability to break through the defenses of Fort McHenry. So there's multiple stops around the Baltimore area relating to the creation of the Star Spangled Banner. And then, of course, I'm there. Might as well go see the house where the Star Spangled Banner was made. It's there. It's a museum today. The problem with doing that, I have to go to Baltimore. And I'm a Yinzer. I don't know if I'll make it through. I don't know what a Steelers fan will do when they're in Baltimore territory, Ravens country. I don't want to be there. Going to Monocacy was pretty dangerous for yours truly. I saw a lot of purple. I don't like the purple. I like the black and gold. It was getting very dangerous, very sus around the Monocacy National Battlefield last year. So I mean, if I would do Fort McHenry, I'd have to go into the very heart of Raven country. All right, what's going on over here? Apparently Tim is handing mead over to Wrangler and Skunks. It's a whole the whole chat is getting all warm and fuzzy on mead. I do not know what has become of my chat. It is truly becoming one of the things. Look the IRS and Ray and say, mead. Someone might just say, mead. My God. Another thing I've been talking about doing. Do I have it in my notes area? I want to do a lot more of cemeteries, actually in the Laurel Highlands. So these videos actually they're actually possible to do. I have my farther trip ideas, but this one's like I can go do this on an afternoon. There's a lot of cemeteries, and what I want to really start doing is focusing on some of these military graves that are in the Laurel Highlands and just talking about these individuals buried who are from the Laurel Highlands or were interred in my home territory, and their ties to military history, Revolution, War of 1812, Civil War, the World Wars, list goes on. I've been finding Medal of Honor recipients in surprising locations. Like, really, they're buried there? Nobody talks about that. Like, I found that we went a while ago to a place known as Ohio Powell State Park on Retracing History. And it blew my mind. And there's a very little cemetery, like up a dirt road. There are 2 Medal of Honor recipients from the Civil War buried in Ohio Powell, Pennsylvania, which Ohio Powell is not much of a town. It is a big tourist attraction for the waterfalls, which are beautiful to see. And I'm not really into, just nature sightseeing. Usually I need like a historical tie to get into it. No, the waterfalls of Ohio Powell are beautiful to see. And so all these people who ascend upon Ohio Powell every summer have no idea there are Medal of Honor recipients just buried feet away from where the falls are. So I want to do a video at least on those 2 guys. I don't know if I'm just going to do retracing histories about the cemeteries. I thought about spinning it off into its own series where it will be only about like maybe 4 or 5 minute videos of each about each individual. Like we visit their grave and then we go and, I give you a brief history or to the best of my abilities, a synopsis on what their military career was like and what they did in the area and try to connect the dots using newspapers.com. That's an idea. They do. The dirt roads hide great secrets that need to be explored, except the ones that are in the rocks. Don't turn over those rocks, especially if it starts smelling like cucumbers. Don't do it. And it's not cucumbers or the rocks, I promise you. And then I mentioned earlier in the stream actually about going to the Middletown and Humboldt Railroad. I've been wanting a while to go back out to Eastern Pennsylvania and really just have a weekend to do a trip to just document trains. Like go to the short line railroads, your Stroudsburg Railroad, your There in Lancaster County in particular, not Lancaster, my apologies, York County. There's free railroads I've been dying to visit. They are the Northern Central Railway, the Stewartstown Railroad, and the Ma and Pa Railroad. The reason I'm so interested in these free is their preservation story. The Northern Central Railway is the rail line President Lincoln took to go to the dedication of the Gettysburg National Cemetery, and was a stretch of track that his funeral train traveled across. And it's one of the older rail lines in the existence in the country that still survives today. So, and there's all sorts of cool architecture, just cool sceneries in that region. Then we have the Stewartstown Railroad, which is just actually the Stewartstown Railroad connects right into the Northern Central. The Stewartstown Railroad is the oldest, was it? Is it the, I think it's the oldest continuously chartered railroad in the country. It's not the oldest railroad in operation. What I mean is the organizing entity, the charter that organized the Stewartstown Railroad Company back in 1887 is still the charter they use in 2025. You can do it today. You can buy like for, I mean, it's a small donation. Like as a member, you can buy like into the shares of the company today and stuff. They kind of do it as like a membership program. It's now a non-for-profit technically, but yeah, they're the oldest chartered railroad in the United States of America, 1887. Yes, the Stroudsburg is technically the oldest operating railroad in the country. That goes back to 1832. But the Stroudsburg's changed organization over the years. It's gone for different companies that own the line. So want to go see the Stewartstown, and they've had an incredible comeback story going back to the past decade. And I want to cover that. And then a little bit to the east of that, in York County still, is the Ma and Pa Railroad. And it's this beautiful site in the middle of nowhere. It's called Muddy Creek Forks. And the Historical Society preserves this village of Muddy Creek Forks, the general store, the grist mill, all the little shops around. They just preserve it. So it's a small little historic town, and they preserve 3 miles of the old Maryland and Pennsylvania Railroad. Now, they don't operate full-scale trains. What they actually do is they have maintenance of way motor cars on either end of the consist, and they have basically modified flat cars with seats in. And it's from the video scene, it's a very beautiful ride along the little creek that goes behind the general store about 3 miles back. So these are all free, very unique preservation stories I want to document on Retracing History. And they're all railroad related. And, that always makes me excited. So those free in particular, I want to go and see in 2025. And I actually thought about doing it for like the holidays this year, but it just didn't work out. And if you heard that little yelp, that was the evil one known as Lily, trying to claw up my leg. And now she's leaving because she's frustrated. She didn't get to taste blood. So those are just some ideas. Those are ones at least I'm generally confident I could achieve in 2025. There's many, many other ideas I have, pipe dreams, if you will. Don't know if I'll get to them in 2025. Also this year, I want to be able to do more. I want to do more than just retracing history. I mean, if I was smart, I would just do retracing history videos and just keep it streamlined. But I'm not smart. I like being creative. And I want to make more of the documentary style videos that I used to do before I did the Retracing Histories. If you've been around the channel a long time, you may recall my Dar Mine video. There's a video about the Later Valley Railroad train wreck. There's a video on here about the Mammoth Mine disaster. And then about a little, if you want, massacre that occurred when coke work strikers were gunned down by armed deputies in the Moorwood Massacre. So I did these like they were more documentary focused. I would film the talking segments here in the room, and I would still go out to the site and film where the events occurred, but they were more of a documentary focus than Retracing History, which is straight up basically more like a vlog. But then again, I mean, the Valley Forge video, all the Philadelphia campaign videos, Retracing History, they were basically documentaries formats. They weren't really vlogs. So I guess am I regressing into that? I guess I am. I'd like to do more just videos, just more documentary based or more off the wall. People really liked the mystery flesh pit video, which I should remind you. Somebody commented on that video, and they did remind me that we should not forget that Jimmy Carter passed away at the age of 100. And one of his greatest contributions to the United States of America was recognizing the Mystery Flush Pit as a national park. So I'd like to do more videos like the Mystery Flush Pit. I know they're not really history based. They're like alternate fiction, they're fiction stuff. They're like, alternate reality stuff. But I like talking about these fictitious stuff just for the fun of it. But I like giving it like the dead serious historian lens just for the fun of it. I had an idea yesterday. It occurred to me that it's 2025, which means 20 years ago, Avatar: The Last Airbender premiered on Nickelodeon. What the hell does this have to do with history? Absolutely nothing. But what does it have to do with me? Well, see, I didn't really watch a lot of, not when I was a kid. Like, I've always joked, but I'm dead serious. My Saturday morning cartoon format was waking up, watching Pokemon, and then going, flipping over to the History Channel to watch a Civil War Journal. That was my Saturday morning, like, cartoons. I didn't really do cartoons that often. I'd have them on the background, but I wasn't really paying attention to them. But when Avatar came out, that was a whole different story. It's probably like the one franchise I can go and say, yes, I actually grew up with that. Most of the other stuff, no, I didn't learn about that till I was in my adolescence. That, I grew up with that show. And the reason I was into the show is because, well, it wasn't your typical cartoon, at least not for American audiences. It wasn't a one and done, every episode, rinse and repeat. This was, we have an actual established plot with beginning, middle, and end, and it's about a war. And of course, my sick, twisted 5-year-old brain was like, ooh, conflict. I understand that. I understand war and military tactics. Even though they're not using guns, they're using the 4 elements to attack each other. It's fine then. They're not using guns. They're killing each other with rocks and fire and water. They're drowning people, burning people, smashing people with rocks, and taking the air out of the lungs. That's fine for all ages. Bullets, bad. It's too quick. No, only for adults. It's 20th anniversary of Avatar. I wouldn't be opposed to doing a whole like history series that's about the history of the Avatar world. Like I would play it straight deadpan, like how my normal history, education stuff. Just treat like, yeah, this is a historical event. What do you mean? Yeah, benders are a thing. Yeah. Avatar, Master 4 Elements. That's a thing. So I want to do more of that stuff. I don't know. What do I describe that stuff? The gibberish, as I call it sometimes. I use the term editorial, but is that the right term for it? You know what videos I'm describing. My Mothman Prophecies video, my Pink Floyd's The Wall video, Oscar Langley Soryu, those videos. What do I describe them as? Because they're not my normal format, but I like doing them and I want to do more of them. I just want to do more off the wall videos. Just like, hey, I like talking about this stuff. It's fun to do. Yeah, it is a damn awesome show. Yeah, it is a damn awesome show. No, it's not. It is the best show that ever came out of Nickelodeon Studios. And it's one of the best animated shows that were ever produced by Americans. Though I think most of the animation was done in Korea, technically, but don't worry about that. Don't worry about them details. Those details, we don't worry about them. In New York, you can stand on each side of the Delaware River at the same time because the little creek. It's not big yet. It's a little creek. We don't have Big Creek yet. We have Little Creek. Deep Creek. Well, Deep Creek's in Maryland, and there's freaking nothing around Deep Creek. Everybody goes see Deep Creek. Everybody always talks about it. Like, oh, Deep Creek, we're going on vacation to Deep Creek. There's nothing there but a bunch of condos. I guess if you're into, if you want to go like sail on the lake and stuff, and you're doing fishing, I guess it's fun then. But you're probably not going to catch anything. There's so many gosh darn people on the banks of Deep Creek. I'm like the I'm the anti-tourist when I go on vacation. I want to go where there's nobody. I want to go where nobody goes. I want to go into the hole in the wall. That hole in the wall bar over there that just a bunch is your 90-year-old men that have lived their whole lives here, probably were in the Korean War. Yeah, that's where I want to go. I want to sit with them. I want to stay as far away from the mobs of people on the tour bus. That's my type of vacation, which makes my vacations pretty, especially my vacation slash business trips to produce videos make them very easy for me sometimes. I'm like, we don't go over there because everybody's over there. We're going to go over here and talk about the obscure stuff because this is the stuff that's going to be cool. Oh, yes. All right. If I've talked about everything that was on my mind. Skunks, would you be upset if the music played? The end music. It's getting to that time. I don't got the stamina that Captain Garrett does. I'm 1/5 of a captain. When you become a captain, you get the 5-hour lifespan for a stream. When you're only a lowly junior officer, you don't have that stamina. You go on for an hour and then it kind of ends. We could talk about more mead, We could talk about more mead. We could. There was something else in my brain. That's why I'm like, I want to set in like type out the stream. Okay, here's what we're gonna do tonight. My cushion time between end of work and at home didn't work. Talking about that. Oh, I know what else I was talking about. I had a proposition given to me about an idea for a retracing history about would I be up to going down to the Outer Banks. I've never been to the Outer Banks. I'll be straight up, guys. Me here, Read Out Productions. I've never seen the ocean. I've never had a desire. Again, this ties into the old, I don't like going to where a bunch of people are. I will go to the hole in the wall over in the corner to get away from everybody. The oceans are just harbingers of hordes and hordes of tourists. So I'm just like, I don't feel like going there. I'm not going to swim anyways. It's going to be hot out. I guess, but then everybody gives you looks like, you must see it before you die. Oh, okay. I'd also like to go see, the Little Bighorn Battlefield, but I feel that's more important than the beach, but okay. Also, a lot of sharks. Yes, there are a lot of sharks. Hopefully not a lot of Sharknadoes. But the proposition was given about going to the Outer Banks, and it dawned on me, Kitty Hawk, Wright brothers. So I'm thinking this year, maybe we should talk about the Wright brothers. And of course, my brain's like, well, we can't just go to Kitty Hawk. We got to go to Dayton, Ohio, baby, because in Dayton, Ohio, that is where the Wright brothers are actually from. They had all their shops, and most of the experimentation was actually done in Dayton, Ohio. So that's why you have like Patterson Airfield and stuff there today because of Dayton. I mean, Dayton's the true origin. Yeah, Ohio, North Carolina got that thing going, a first in flight thing, and everybody keeps fighting who's truly the state for first in flight, first in space. So I know they did in North Carolina technically, but most of the history is actually in Ohio. So if I go back over to Ohio, all roads lead to Ohio. And Ohio is a very cursed place, but all the roads keep going there. We'll see how many of those roads take Readout Productions to Ohio in 2025. I'm a little scared about the possibilities. I also want to say last year, I really didn't get to do anything with Fubar Digital Lounge. That other channel that myself, a humble collector, we put together. We were supposed to do like a podcast, which wasn't really going to be about history, but we're just going to talk about pop culture stuff. That was going to be our little corner to talk about movies and games and stuff. Did several stuff over there in 2022, 2023. I had a few special live streams with a couple guests who are in the chat tonight. We did talks about the Hunger Games, and then before that, we read My Immortal. Less said about that, the better. If you want to find out what My Immortal's about, you just go over to the Fubar Digital Lounge. Just go over there, go over to the Fubar Digital Lounge. There's a whole playlist, and all of your issues will be explained. I didn't do much with it this past year. I haven't had time to do Fubar Digital Lounge. We did me and Humble Collector teamed up for one major video last year, and it was actually history related. And the only reason we put it there is because there were alcoholic beverages, and there were also cigars. And though you don't see it, they are widely discussed. And there was some profanity. So for that reason, we both decided, let's put it over on the B channel, put it on Fubar Digital Lounge. So if you want to listen to the two of us ramble on in a highly entertaining manner about the voyage of the damned, that was the Russian 2nd Pacific Squadron in the Russo-Japanese War, go over to the Fubar Digital Lounge and listen to it. I want to get back into the groove of doing more things over there. So I want to do more talks about pop culture stuff. And I would like to get back and do more of the, what do we call it? Was it Tipsy History? We had a name, like it was the whole Russo-Japanese War thing I just described. That was a whole like pilot for a series, and we never really got it off the ground because we just didn't find the time. I have a question to ask those in the chat. Would you be into me doing, I've been trying to figure out, kind of thinking like, want to do more interactions with the community, keep people engaged here on Readout Productions, get back to you guys for supporting me. What would be more interesting? A book club where I would probably maybe like once a month or once every month, I would pick like a history book, and those I wanted to like be a part of it. You know, I don't know if that'd be part of the Garrison program or we would just do it as its own separate thing because I may make videos about it at the end of the month. Would you be interested in being part of a book club hosted by yours truly, or would you be interested in a movie club? They would probably be most history themed, as flimsy of history theme as possible. And the book club is the obvious, but there are so many history book clubs out there. I don't know what really to do of it. I'm like, I don't know what more I can add to it. Or a movie club, that's actually more my bread and butter, talking about movies. But I also feel it is a history-in. We don't use historian here anymore. Tonight, we made a new word up, history-in, and that's what we're going to use going forward. It feels like, I'm like, book club will make more sense. It's like, well, you're reading the books, make the videos. You might as well talk about the books. So, do you guys will be what's the feel of that for those in the chat now, or for those watching the replay of this stream on Readout Productions replay? Let me know in the comments section if you're watching the replay. Would there be interest in me just doing reviews of books? You know, of the history books I do. I always get worried about when I get to the reviews. Like on one hand, I want to do videos about like talking about, okay, I just read this book, I watched this movie. I don't know what to say beyond I like it, I don't like it. I'm pretty basic on that. So, you know, there's just food for thought out there. Let me know if those in the chat or those watching replay, would you be interested in me forming a small history book club, a small history movie club, where every month we pick a movie, pick a book, and then we would talk about at the end of the due date. Any of these ideas, for the record, could not happen until we get to spring because I'm still in the trenches with college until March. It's great. It's joyous. I love them sucking my life. I love them sucking the life of my funds, my future funds, not my current funds, sucking my future funds so they can give me the funny paper. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I need the funny paper because then I transition from edumacate to educate when I get the funny paper. At least that is, I think that's how it's written in the sacred texts of the university system. Is it not? Or is it just say, you have been scammed? Maybe that's what it says. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. You've enjoyed me rambling. I am going to call it evening because I'm ready for bed. I didn't expect the last few hours of today to go as sideways as they did. And there's more snow coming, which means I got more shoveling to look forward to tomorrow. Yay. But this case will be me shoveling myself out of the house. Movies for sure for me. One thing I always find weird, funny in Western movie shows, they always depict Texans as crazy. Well, I mean, yeah, Texans are crazy. That's I've always just presumed that. No, I'm not insulting people from Texas. I'm just like, yeah, they're crazy. Look how big their state is. Everything's bigger in Texas. It's gotta be crazy to be down there. Well, no problem. I'm glad I walked you home. Hopefully we don't end the stream and you end up midway in the street because the stream ended. I hope you make it. I hope you make it to your humble abode. Well, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Oh, now you're just gonna give me ideas. Yeah, Shanghai Noon's good. Shanghai Noon's fine. Like I said, if we do the film club, it would be like when I say it's Readout Productions talking with everybody about history movies. History, there are some parentheses because I like having fun. It's like, yeah, we're gonna watch Shanghai Noon. Yeah, what are you talking about? Yeah, Jackie Chan, Owen Wilson. Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it. It's set in a pre-2025 setting. It's history. Yeah. They're doing a bunch of martial arts. It counts. Yeah, it counts. If you enjoyed tonight's stream, hit the like button down below. If you want to follow us in our future adventures, well, if you're actually watching the replay or watching Readout Productions replay, subscribe here to the replay because then you'll be updated when more of the streams get uploaded to this back catalog. If you're watching right now while we're live on the main channel, subscribe to the main channel. If you're watching the replay, hey, you can still subscribe to the main channel because that's where all the current stuff's happening. So head on over to Readout Productions, subscribe here so you can live and explore, preserve history one video at a time. Do the old World War II movies. Yeah, I need to talk to King Bob. I need to talk to him because if we're gonna do Twister, I don't know if it'll be on this channel. I know I did an uncut history about Twister, but that may be something for the Food Bar Digital Lounge. And if I am gonna do a stream where we talk about Twister, I need King Bob on board. He's my second in command when we talk about Twister. All right. Hit the like button. You did the subscription thing. Oh, and if you want to go the extra mile in support of me, you can join the Garrison. Take the Ko-fi link in the description below and subscribe to our monthly membership program where you will get access to select scripts, including notes from some of our streams, except not tonight's stream because tonight's stream is very rambly. It'll just say, drink Yingling, get on air, look at shelf and get ideas to talk about. Begin stream. Yeah, it want to be good notes. But if you join the Garrison, you'll get access to select scripts, you'll get access to behind the scenes footage and photographs on all of our travels, and you'll get a credit at the end of every video. And you'll get my undying gratitude for supporting us on these wild adventures. The old black and whiteys. Look at Mead. Look at Mead. I don't have a Mead bottle on me though. Tonight's stream, TLDR, Mead fun begins. Yeah, tonight's stream, the Mead fun begins. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next time whenever Uncut History returns to the airwaves. Oh, and before we leave, don't forget tomorrow there is a new edition of Retracing History coming out. So stay tuned. That'll be 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. New edition of Retracing History here on Readout Productions. Have a good night, everybody.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain.